The police dog, man. But before we get into that, I want to know, like, what is the origin of man's best friend? And I searched it, and this is what first came up. It says it is claimed that the first time the phrase man's best friend was used was in 1789 by King Frederick of Persia. Again, I don't know. I have no idea who this guy is. Never researched him. So again, you sometimes you have to, trust their actions and not their words. The only absolute and the best friend that a man has is this selfish world. The only one that will not betray or deny him is his dog. He was talking about his Italian greyhound when he used this phrase. So again, I don't know anything about this guy, so I'm not gonna comment about him now. But here we have, where it probably began with King Frederick of Persia, who owned a dog called Italian Greyhound, who was probably the one that came up with the phrase man's best friend. And now that brings me to police dogs. I consider myself like, in the Marvel movies and the comics, there's Hamdell, who's like the gatekeeper of Asgard, and he doesn't let anyone trespass or get by him. To me, I'm kind of like Hamdell because I'm not allowing any dog nuttery to get by me. Anything that has to do with worthless mutts, I'm going to shine the light on it. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to talk about it in ways that many people don't see it or want to talk about it. So in the case of the police dog, here we have police people, police men, police women who choose, to be police officers in order to, keep the peace, to keep people safe. And it's a dangerous world out there. It is a dangerous world out there. Every day is different. You don't know what to expect. It is a dangerous world out there, And it's so dangerous that even police officers themselves, they need dogs. Do dogs count as a weapon? Does this little fur baby count as a weapon? This sweet little fur baby, does it count as a weapon? But here we have police officers, trained police officers with firearms, SWAT teams, backup, police cruisers, etc. You name it. Their technology now is beyond this world right now. But they still decide and choose to use police dogs while on duty. Here we are living in a dangerous world, dangerous cities. Anything can happen, but we have people putting dogs in the middle of problems, of danger, mind you. But no one's gonna speak up about this. No dog lover is gonna consider this abuse or manipulation. But isn't having a police dog a type of manipulation of the dog or abuse of the dog? It's like using a child as a decoy, as a shield. Isn't that pretty much not really the same thing, but it's like they're using this dog as a shield, as a weapon, as a tool, as a prop. We all know dogs are used as props. Dogs are props. And here we have the police force using dogs as props in order to fight crime, fight maybe dangerous people who also have guns. And how could this not be considered some type of manipulation towards the dog? We have grown men, grown women, strong grown men and women, brave, bold, strong men and women in blue who have firearms, etc. A lot of tools, a lot of backup, a lot of tech. and they still are willing to put a worthless mutt in danger to protect themselves. They use these dogs in order to protect themselves while they fight crime. I know I hate dogs and would rather see dogs just be eliminated. But tell me, isn't this not a form of manipulation, of mental abuse? They're going to train these dogs and put them in danger? They're going to, give these dogs treats? Then they're going to put them in danger where they can be killed by who knows what? I hate dogs, and I would love to see them be eliminated. But I'm trying to look at the other side of this. They're to me they're just props. Like any dog can be used as a prop. You see any stray dog, chances are you're gonna want to stay far away from that dog. You see a police officer, you'll be a lot more comfortable, stepping towards a police officer than stepping towards a dog. Now you see a police officer with a dog. You see a police officer with a dog, and you probably, you won't approach. You probably won't approach this person. The police officer could have a gun, a big gun, and you will still approach the police officer. But if it's with a dog, you're going to be a little bit, uncertain. Because, again, we've heard many stories of these police dogs attacking children for no reason. There was 2 incidents. I think one at a, police fair or some kind of fair. And the child, I think, approached the dog, and the police dog had attacked the child. Then one at a park where a little girl was playing in the park, and the police dog was loose and attacked the girl. So it's baffling. I know there's many sides to this. There's the dangers of these things, and there is the dangers that are against these things that these dog lovers will allow and put them in the middle. They won't say anything because we've been conditioned not to say anything. We've been conditioned to worship these dogs. Whatever they do, whatever the media says and promotes, we will accept it and we will worship these things because of it. Got these little sweet little fur babies, innocent little fur babies. And what are they doing? They're being put in the middle to fight crime where they can be shot and killed. So I was wondering, like how many police dogs have been killed on in the line of duty. I was wondering that. I didn't get too much. I guess fortunate for the dog lovers, I didn't find too much. Only a few, but I believe there should be more, but I don't know. I just didn't find much. So apparently this dog was, again, killed in the line of duty. Remember, high risk call. Another one was killed on the line of duty. You have another one. So again, I understand being a police officer is a very dangerous, job. A lot of jobs are dangerous, but being a police officer is one of the most dangerous jobs. You got to be on your toes. You got to be alert. You got to know what you're doing. And it's dangerous. You can lose your life or hurt yourself. But we have grown men, maybe some very smart men and smart women. Look at this, a Rottweiler. Using dogs, putting dogs in the middle of a war, basically. And I could also talk about military dogs as well, but we're gonna stick to the police dogs, the canine unit. People putting these dogs in the middle of a war on the streets where they have all died. When one dog dies, how sad. Do you know how sad dog lovers get when one dog dies? If you say you hate dogs, if someone sees you kick a dog, they get all sad and they start crying for a dog. But they don't say anything regarding putting dogs in the middle of of danger. You know? They don't budge. They don't say a single thing of people using dogs to fight crime. And here we have a list of dogs who died on the line of duty. Do you think this will trigger dog lovers anyway? Will dog lovers, cry and, protest of police not using police dogs? They probably already have. I don't know. Maybe I haven't really searched. I haven't seen anything. Maybe they already are doing it. But again, if they see you kicking a dog, they're going to be triggered to the max. But we have police officers using dogs and many dying on the line of duty. And from what I know, nothing is being said. No dog lover is saying a single thing like this. Police units all across the world are using these dogs, not just the US or Canada. All over the world, they use dogs to fight crime, etc. And many die on the line of duty. Isn't this not manipulation of the dog? Doesn't this confirm the dog is nothing but a prop, a slave, a tool, a weapon? You see a police officer with a gun, you'll probably approach him, you be cool, you can talk, you have a conversation with him. But you see a police officer with a dog or a stray dog by itself, then chances are you're going to want to stay far away from that thing. Far away from the police officer. Again, I was searching for, lists of police dogs that were killed on the line of duty. Didn't find as much, but I'm pretty sure there's been a lot. Here we have in this article, surprising cause of death for police dogs. 40% of law enforcement pups are killed from heat exhaustion. So, and again, you say you hate dogs. That would trigger a dog lover. But putting a police dog or a dog, using a dog, help fight crime in the middle of a war, no one says anything. Dog lovers don't say a single thing. They don't say a damn thing because the media has not programmed or conditioned them to say anything. But I guarantee you, when time comes, it may be triggered. Because I'm aware that they're coming out with the robotic dogs now, so I think there's going to be a big change coming up ahead. So according to the Officer Down Memorial page, there have been 26 police dog fatalities in 2015 so far, over 30% more compared to 2013. Remember, these are police dogs, remember. Over 40% of the fatalities this year were due to heat exhaustion, usually from being left in a squad car on a hot day. In August, 2 dogs with the Baltimore City Detention Center died when the air conditioning failed in a police vehicle, and in May, an officer was suspended without pay after inadvertently left 2 police dogs to overheat in his car. They may not have died in the line of duty, but apparently, according to this article, some dogs are left in the car and they die in the dogs. I just want dog lovers to see the other side. Because I know the media isn't telling you that. If the media, promoted things like this more, there would be a shift in perception. The surprising reason more police dogs are dying in the line of duty. Again, heat exhaustion. Other causes. So again, and again, dogs are just props. How about this? Canines killed in the line of duty. To do so, a database of 96 police dogs that died in the line of duty in the United States between 2011 and 2015 was compiled, drawn from the officer down memorial page. More police dog deaths were reported in 2014 and 2015 during summer months. I asked this: Did these dog lovers know about this? Did the media, CNN or Fox or whatever, report this? Did the dodo report this? With half clustering in the southern U.S., the victim police dogs were mostly younger and recently employed. Look how they use employed to refer to a dog as if the dog is human. Employed? Is the dog getting paid? Does the dog pay taxes? Does the dog have to read the policy book? Did the dog have to go to school, university, college? No. All the dog did was eat and then obey orders. It ate and it obeyed orders and it got put on the line of duty. Again, heat exhaustion. So most frequent cause of death was heat exhaustion, followed by gunfire and automobiles. Most offenders were apprehended by police or shot. Again, this reminds me of, man's best friend. Remember what this guy said? He says, the only absolute and best friend that a man has is this selfish world, and selfish world, the only one that will betray or deny him is his dog. One more time. The only absolute and the best friend that a man has in this selfish world, the only one that will not betray or deny him is his dog. Maybe the key word is his dog. But it reminded me, canine police reminded me, of the so-called civil rights movement. Of if you're offended by this, I guess turn away now. We have the police using, dogs again as weapons to attack people. And we just had a person just say dogs are man's best friend. So if dogs are, I understand he used the word his dog, but based on what dog culture says, and even this phrase says, it says man's best friend. So we're going to imply that dogs are all of man's best friend. So here we have the employed dogs being used as weapons to attack another man. Remember, dogs are man's best friend, but they will still attack people. They will still attack other men, police dogs or not. So how can you look at this? How can you look at these kind of pictures and say dogs are man's best friend? Obviously, these people are not fighting aliens. They're not fighting Thanos. They're not fighting Darkseid. They're probably most likely fighting people. And what are they going to use? They're going to use dogs to help them. They're going to put dogs in the middle of a war to help them. Remember, they said dogs are man's best friend. So when I hear that phrase, I assume it's all of man's best friend. It's all of man's. That includes me, you, your sister, your brother, your friend. But here we have again Another dog, looking like the dog is attacking or lunging at this person. Remember, dogs are man's best friend. Again, they use dogs. Why do they use dogs? If dogs are so lovable fur babies, why are they used as weapons? Why are they used to attack people and hurt people? You know? This is something I had to, shed some light on. Because dog lovers, they won't, they're not, dog lovers will not mention something. I mean, the majority of dog lovers will not mention something unless the media tells them to say it. You're going to maybe have a few on the side that probably have said it or mentioned it. But as a whole, dog lovers are not going to mention it. Do you think, they use the term fur baby. Dog lovers use the term fur babies. Do you think if the media didn't mention that, or somewhere on the media didn't mention that or promote it, that people would be saying that? Same with the term, man's best friend. If the media didn't use this term, do you think the majority of dog lovers will be saying these things? Again, you kick a dog, you say you hate dogs, don't like dogs, keep a dog in a hot car, then people are going to turn on you and they're going to call you evil. They're going to want to hurt you. But they have no problem with people using dogs as props in order to fight crime. And by doing so, some dogs die. So we have these fur babies fighting crime, getting shot and killed. And I believe it's more than this. It has to be more than this. I know it has to be way more than this. But dog lovers ain't saying anything. Dog lovers actually support this. Dog lovers support police using dogs. Dog lovers support endangering dogs. Again, I don't care for dogs. If anything, if I had to choose, I would definitely get rid of all dogs, period. Police dogs, yeah. House dogs, whatever the dog is called, I would, get rid of it in a heartbeat. But I'm just looking at the other side of this, the other side of the picture. The other side that most dog lovers don't look at because, again, the media hasn't conditioned them to mention it. We got dog lovers. You have dog lovers promoting and enjoying dogs being used as props, being put in danger, where they can, die or, get injured. Because, when one dog dies, everyone is sad. But when a police dog dies, it's like you just shrug it off. It's like they just shrug it off and they go out on their business, on their business. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open. I'm gonna keep the lights on, because I know there has to be way more than this that they're showing. There has to be way more than what I found. That's a mini little search. I really gotta look up who this guy is. Again, you gotta trust people's actions and not their words. Trust people's actions and not their words. Ignorant dog lovers finding this out would probably think that this guy was actually a good guy. He was a great guy, a nice guy. I don't know. I really don't know who this guy is. But, chances are he probably, had skeletons in his closet. But since he's a dog nutter, or was a dog nutter, dog lovers are going to, ignore the skeletons in this guy's closet, and they would probably respect him just because he probably came up with man's best friend and he said this quote. And I'm not even gonna bother read this. It's I'm not gonna bother. Maybe another day. Um, yeah, just reading through this, but I couldn't find any other information, relating to the origin of man's best friend. But that's another thing, going back. I'm about to finish. I want to finish, but sometimes things come to my head. But going back, this guy says the only absolute, and the best friend that a man has in this selfish world, and the only one that will not betray or deny him is his dog. Again, if a tree gave dog food, that dog would not betray the tree. If a evil person, an evil dictator, fed a dog, that dog would not betray him. If someone who bullies others, hurts others, but then is nice to his dog and feeds his dog, that dog would not betray his owner, who's a bully. So what I mean by again, it's all about it all comes down to food and resources. It's not about dogs don't think like people. You're providing something for that dog, and that's why the dog is going to be loyal and not betray you. If a robot fed a dog, guarantee that dog would stay with that robot and be loyal to the robot. But again, even in based on this, even in 1789, people were just they were questionable. They were really questionable. How they still couldn't figure it out that dogs only loved food. This is Gore the Dog Butcher. And if you say you hate and despise worthless mutts, I will take that as a compliment.